So we're here with Dan Skelton here in Warwickshire. So start of the jump season has just come around. Looking back though, and your career also with Paul Nicholls as well, what's sort of like the best race you have won?
Definitely Protector out last year in the Ryanair at the Cheltenham Festival. Absolutely magical day. Took us by surprise a little bit because we thought he could win, but he was no certainty going into it. So sometimes when you expect to win and they win, you feel relief. Sometimes when you don't expect they'll win, or don't expect them to, but when you think this is going to be tough, sometimes the elation after winning is even more. So that was a great day, and the horses were on a roll that week as well. Yeah. We had 4 winners at Cheltenham that week, so it was remarkable.
What's your favourite holiday destination?
I do like going skiing actually.
Yeah.
Me and my daughter go skiing every year. We go to Austria skiing. That's pretty nice.
Ascot is synonymous with afternoon teas, so are you jam or cream first on a scale?
Oh yeah, definitely jam.
Any reason? Just
I just feel like you can get a lot more cream on then.
Who is the toughest sort of other trainer that you've come up against?
Well, obviously Willie, with the quality he's got, the depth of quality that he's got is when he starts playing, it gets really hard. But on a day-to-day basis, Paul Nicholls.
Yeah. I
worked for him so many years. I know how much he puts into it. I know what stones he doesn't leave unturned. And he is a dour competitor. He wants to win everything, and he's just hungry to get better all the time. So he's a hard man to beat. What's
your hidden talent, if you've got one?
My hidden talent?
Yeah.
It's well hidden. I don't even know it myself.
And what's your go-to sort of like dinner or meal, sort of like takeaway or something?
My favourite food is, I do like a good steak.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do like a good steak. Nothing wrong with a curry, to be honest with you, either. So, as you can tell, I like my food. It's not much I don't eat.
What has been the toughest part of your career to date, though?
The toughest, always the toughest, is dealing with injuries. Ringing those owners and saying your horse is injured, we can't run for a while, or a short while, a long while. It's hard because you're ultimately trying to give those owners the best days, and for the horses themselves, it goes without saying, you just want them to be safe. I think there's a lot of assumption from the wider public that people in the industry see horses as the tools of their trade.
Yeah.
They're not. They're so much more than that. They are, they're animals. They're living beings. We love them. We care for them.
So here we are with Valgrand. It was a great win at the weekend. Just gone with him. He was way out in front. Is there sort of like when you see a horse do that? Is there an excitement as obviously a fresh horse, sort of like you're seeing that for the first time you go in? This is going to be special.
Yeah, I mean, seeing the horse do that at Cheltenham is great. We're always trying to prep them and prime them to put up a performance like that, especially visually.
Yeah.
I think the Times actually back up that it was a good run as well. He took us by surprise that he did it so well. We thought he was a good horse. We thought he could win. We didn't necessarily think he'd blow them away like that. So it's very exciting. Sometimes with the novices, and he's a novice, you have to keep seeing it.
Yeah.
One swallow doesn't quite make a full summer.
Yeah.
But the first swallow you see means summer might be coming.
Yeah. So another question that we did get asked by the community was Grey Dawning.
Yeah.
He won the Turners last year. Is he going for the Gold Cup, and will he have a chance against Galloping?
Yeah, we're going to aim for the Gold Cup. Obviously, there's a long way to go. He needs to come up out of novices and progress to the next level. A horse like Galloping Champ's got it all in the book. He performs at a very high level consistently. We've got to come up to his level.
Yeah.
We have the opportunity to do so. He was one of the best novices last year, Grey Dawning. So yeah, we're going to give it a go. And at the start of the year, you have to plan and presume that you're going to get there.
Yeah.
And if you don't, midway through the season, you might have to change approach. But there's no point this year not hoping, dreaming and presuming it's going to happen.
Has there ever been a moment where you thought about quitting horse racing?
Probably more than you'd ever think. Only the same way a footballer probably thinks about quitting football when they're not scoring, or a golfer thinks about quitting when they can't get it on the green. But that's seconds of not even seconds of doubt. It's just the, if I can say it, the oh sod it reaction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that only lasts milliseconds. At the end of the day, I'm very lucky to do this job. I get to work with horses, I get to be outside, I get to be a competitor, which otherwise I wouldn't be a competitor. I would be you know, what would I be doing? I'd probably be doing some sort of office job or something. My physique hardly fits a sportsman, so I get to be a sports person off the back of these horses, and it's a wonderful thing to do. It is hard when you get injuries or you get a member of staff gets hurt, you know, they fall off or whatever. You know, you do sometimes get flickers of doubt that, oh God, you know, you don't want that to happen again, and you know, it never ever lasts. Like I say, it's only the same doubt that anybody would get in any job or any sport or anything. You know, you go, God, is it all worth it? But yeah, of course.
I know being involved in horse racing, so from a young age, or horses from a young age, sorry. Was there ever a horse race though that you ever looked at and you go, that's the one I want to win?
The Grand National was always very special.
Yeah.
My first racing memory though was Desert Orchid winning the King George in the fog. I think it must have been either 1988 or 1989. And I remember watching that and thinking, that's great. You know, Desert Orchid was a household name, and you know, I didn't even know his name was Desert Orchid. You know, I just pronounced it all at once. You know, he was called Desi, and he had that character that, you know, I suppose Red Rum in the past had, and maybe even Shergar. But like, you know, we've got new horses now, and then to be involved in like Kedar Star, doing all those magical things, Denman, you know, those great things. As a competitor though, I'm a greedy person. I want to win everything. Yeah. But I suppose, you know, the Grand National is the one that everyone remembers anyway. You know, if you're out one night and someone says, "What do you do?" and you say, "Oh, I'm a racehorse trainer," the first question they ask is, "Have you won a Grand National?" Yeah. You know, they don't ask if you won the Gold Cup or the Champion Hurdle or whatever. You know, it's the Grand National. Who
has been your biggest inspiration in your career? Is it your dad, or is it somebody like Paul Nicholls? Or
well, I think when I was growing up, I totally focused on what my dad did. Yeah. Obviously a fantastic horseman, loads of success with loads of different horses. His planning and the execution of those plans was second to none. He was world number one for a while, multiple champion at all levels, and 2 gold medals at Olympics. You know, he was somebody that when I was riding, I wanted to ride like him. I couldn't, but I tried. And then when I went, you know, to learn how to be a trainer with Paul, you know, I wanted to train like him. Yeah. The 2 biggest influences on my career, without any shadow of doubt, are those 2.
So we're up here on your wonderful gallops that you've got up here, and so we're going to start next question with, have you got a dad joke that you can tell us?
A dad joke?
Yeah. Oh, there's got to be one in the bank.
Yeah, I have. Actually, my daughter uses it all the time. What do you call a chicken staring at a lettuce?
Couldn't tell you.
A chicken Caesar salad.
That is very good. That is very good.
You're all laughing. Hey?
What was your biggest fear?
My biggest fear?
Yeah.
Biggest fear is failure.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. You can dress it up and everything else, but I think everyone has a fear of, you know, not quite making it, not quite doing as well as they hoped or as well as everyone presumed. And there's a lot of pressure. Like nowadays, you know, I've sort of removed myself a little bit from the social media expectation, because, you know, you can never live up to that hype. Yeah. Because one day you're awesome, the next day you're disastrous. So you know that's I'm a little bit removed from that type of thing, but you know, my own expectations of myself are quite high, and then the expectation I put on myself and my owners and the horses is high. So sometimes when you feel like you've let them down, you know, it can be a lonely, empty feeling. But I've got a good team around me, people helping us out, and yeah, it'll all come together.
What was the last song that you listened to?
The last song?
Yeah.
Ooh, Shabuzi.
I couldn't tell you what that is.
Yeah, like Shabuzi. You know who Shabuzi is? Come on. So, an old man like me telling you about Shabuzi. You should be straight into that.
What is your proudest moment in the sport?
My proudest moment? I don't know really. That's a really hard question to answer, because you get pride every day from seeing horses do well that perhaps weren't doing so well, and then you go to a midweek meeting, you might have 3 winners with 3 average horses, and that's a great success. You're awfully proud when you win the big stuff, yeah. But you know, you're proud when you win the little stuff as well, with a horse that, you know, it might be the owner's first ever winner, or the jockey's first winner, or things like that. Those smaller accomplishments are almost sweeter.
Yeah.
The big ones are there to celebrate, enjoy, and everyone sort of joins in them. But the little ones, they're a little more personal, perhaps.
Would you rather win the Grand National, or would you rather win the Cheltenham Gold Cup?
I get asked this, and I feel like I kind of changed my mind. If I probably said Gold Cup last time someone asked me, I'll say Grand National this time. And I might say Gold Cup for the next person. Yeah.
Are you a cat or dog person?
Oh, dog.
Yeah.
Can't trust them cats. They'll come up to you and try and be your friend for no reason. And something about a cat, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's suspicious.
Yeah, no, I'm also a dog person. If you weren't a trainer, what would you be?
Unemployed.
Very good answer.
and probably unemployable.
Your first memory of being around horses?
We had a pony years ago called Oxo.
Yeah.
And my dad learnt to ride on him, and then me and Harry learnt to ride on him, and he lived till he was 38.
That's some good going.
Yeah, he was a fabulous little pony, and he was just like part of the family, and we used to ride him everywhere and tie him up outside the back door and take him to little shows, and he's just part of the family. So riding him, and I remember one day Harry rode him and got his jockey silks on, rode him around the school, and Harry was the jockey and I was the trainer. And I think Harry was maybe 3. And I was 7. And yeah, it's funny how it turns out.
And if you had to describe yourself in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
Ooh, 3 words. Ambitious, hopefully loyal.
Yeah.
I try to do my best by everybody who does their best by me, and very committed. I do sometimes perhaps I feel like I get a better work balance now.
Yeah.
But I'm always thinking, always doing, and that can be quite hard for the family, but they're understanding.
Have you got a weird food combination?
A weird food combination?
Yeah.
Oh God. You keep asking me about food, you lot. You must have got some good tips. My wife says I'm strange because I will put cream on stuff that's already got cream on it.
Like?
I'll put like single or double cream on profiteroles, or on like a...
No, I understand.
On like a roulade or something.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Quarto Star or Sprinter Sacra?
Oh, Quarto Star.
Yeah.
No comparison.
And is it working with him, or just you've got that affinity, or is it like...
You can have your opinions,
and
then you will also be biased.
Yeah.
I'm obviously biased.
Yeah.
I thought Quarto Star, the things he did at different distances. He was the only horse to be top rated at 2 miles, 2.5 and 3 miles, I think, since... I don't even think Desert Orchid did it, because I think only Desert Orchid did 2 and 3. I don't even think he did 2.5.
Yeah.
So he might be the only one of all time.
Yeah.
Sprinter Sacra was absolutely fantastic. Specialist 2-miler in his pomp.
Yeah.
But he didn't do the changes of distances like Quarto Star did. He was very, very special.
If we then went sort of just to Paul Nicholls yards, would we Quarto or Denman?
Shamefully, not shamefully, because you have to be in one or the other, but I was always Quarto Star man, even though I had a great relationship with Harry Finley.
Yeah.
Harry knew I was as well. To be honest with you, the vast majority of us were, and that's not to downgrade Denman at all. The thing is with Denman is he was a little, like, he did it all at the longer distances, and that year they ran against each other at their peak in the Gold Cup. Many that really thought that Quarto Star get beaten.
Yeah.
Not that we weren't happy that Denman won, of course, but and Denman obviously was owned by Paul Barber, who owned the yard, so that was great.
Yeah.
And actually, probably as time went on, everyone sort of went more over to the Denman side, because Quarto Star did amazing things at different distances, and he broke records and everything else, and that was why we were all sort of not in that camp, but he kind of resonated higher or more with you.
Yeah.
As time went on, and obviously Denman had defibrillating heart, came back from it, won what was then a Hennessy under top weight after a defibrillating heart, finished second in 3 more Gold Cups.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he elevated himself by doing extraordinary things after having these problems.
Yeah.
So it was just amazing to be part of. It was amazing to be. I don't want to pick one over the other.
No.
Do you know what I mean? But being honest, you know, Kedistar was just like this unbelievable thing that, you know, just did supernatural things, and it was just amazing to be a part of, to be honest with you.
So when you do eventually retire, which will probably be a long way off,
Yeah, hopefully.
how do you want to be remembered?
I would like to be remembered as successful,
Yeah.
loyal, and an all right bloke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You don't have to really like me, but I'd settle for all right.
Still working all through.
Yeah, exactly.
That is
Exactly.
perfect. Thank you, Dan.
All right.
Cheers.
No worries.